Hello, I'm Tan the TamBoTC channel, and this is the #1 game, my personal #1 game of the year. This game kinda at the last second. I didn't expect it to like it as much as I did, but I really do. I think there's a lot of like Breath of the Wild vibes I get from it, and I love Breath of the Wild. Matter of fact, I've been playing Breath of the Wild thanks to this game again. So I'm on New Game Plus, by the way, so I have to stink and fill up the map again, but I want to start with that when I'm talking about this. So I completed this game not too long ago. I have to say that the map's very, like, it's got a lot of variety to it. No, like, two places look exactly the same. It's got that sense of exploration that Breath of the Wild had for me, as well as like Skyrim, where it's like you look in the distance in different places and you're like, ooh, what's that? Speaking of which, what is that? I haven't explored that island in a little tornado yet. But you look somewhere and you're like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? And I love like how like diverse the landscapes are. It's very colorful, vibrant, and beautiful. I love the art style is really cool. I love like the character model designs and stuff. I'm able to make Geralt, by the way, but I'm wearing this outfit that looks suspiciously like it's from the Ubisoft Club. It looks kind of like the outfit you start out with in Odyssey, which is interesting. I wonder if that's what that's supposed to be. And this is a Greek game, so I wouldn't doubt it. I love the monsters. There's a lot of variety in the monsters, the armor, the weapons. I love that you can like the UI is pretty easy to get to. One thing it does fix from Zelda, you know how in the Breath of the Wild, you had to go into your menu every time, kind of like this, and you select something to drink, like you go here and maybe you'll select something, but no, you don't need to do that. And you have like leveling stats and systems for each of these, which is really cool. I'm going to review this game soon, so I'll probably have to repeat everything I'm saying here. So I won't go too much in detail, but I might go into detail just to let you know why I like this game too. I mean, both deserve just as much. There's a lot of collectibles and stuff, and while it feels Ubisoft open world, I don't mind it, as well as what I'm getting out of it in return is really helpful. Awesome. I love the abilities, by the way. Let me show you some of the abilities. I just love some of the, like, of course the upgrades really help you to feel more powerful, more substantial in battle. Stamina is great. I wish you could kind of do the jump thing that Zelda allows you to do. What I was saying where it fixes the, like, going into your menu and selecting these is it can put it on its hotbar to the lower left corner there, as well as you got all these cool abilities, and I just love how flashy and cool they are. I really got into the combat. I love the combat. The lock-on and targeting, as well as like the combat itself, is really smooth. Where in Ghost of Tsushima, I love Ghost of Tsushima. I definitely think it's a Game of the Year contender. My problem with Ghost of Tsushima is I've had a lot of problems with the camera and fighting against me, as well as like sometimes Jin will, like, when I think I'm locked on to somebody and there's like only one dude, for some reason Jin will go fighting off nowhere, hitting the air. And it's like, what are you doing? He's right there. The dude's right there. I've had times like that. I had the camera like clipped, like if you're in an enclosed area, the camera will clip through a wall for some reason.
Stumbled upon a winged creature.
What is that?
Easily mistaken. As Fenyx freed the small creature imprisoned on the isle, she let out a cry.
Oh, is this a new collectible or something?
Great hero, I am but a piece of Nike, the goddess of victory. Please free the others, so I may return to my full glory.
They won't win without Nike.
Oh.
She's like a glove or a thing you wear that protects you while running. A helmet.
This is new collectibles.
What is it?
Interesting.
Fenyx would need to free
Speaking of which, I love the dialogue and the
but you can
characters.
tell me
The humor's
now.
great. There's
Can you
some
please
missable
respect my
humor,
narrative
but
pacing?
I think the humor is pretty good. I loved the ending, as well as the boss fights are really awesome and epic. You know how, like, take for example, I said this before, where Starlink, you can see the image of Starlink, and don't judge a book by its cover, but like sometimes I'm like so hyped just from seeing the cover of things, because I used to love the covers of different games, but I got rid of a lot of them. It said that there weren't any collectibles though. I thought what? You lied to me. You lied to me. But anyways, I just really enjoy my experience. The combat's just so fun. But what I was saying with stinking the other game is with Ghosts is that I had the camera clip through a wall like 10 times in a row in that very same battle. And there's the lock-on feature is non-existent and annoying. I'll get back to Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know if I'll be doing the entire game's story for the channel. I might do that on my own time. Same with Ukulele. Ukulele might sadly have to be like something I just do on my own time, and I'll focus on the other games I want to focus on. That being the older games, because I love older games in general. But I will still have videos of Ghost of Tsushima and Ukulele, so don't worry about that. The music's great in this. I wouldn't say it's Final Fantasy VII or Doom Eternal, of course, but it works and it is really great. The voice acting's awesome.
From the most beautiful apple tree caught Phoenix's eye.
Phoenix was about as high as I was when I thought marrying Aphrodite off to Hephaestus would stop the other gods from fighting over her.
I love the landscape, I love the colors.
Is something else.
I love the journey to Olympus. It's like a vaster, big journey. I think if there's one problem with this game, while it's not a real problem, it just kind of annoyed me after a while, was just that, like, luckily there aren't many of these, like, climb up an area and synchronize or whatever. And they kind of play into the story because you're being told certain things as you do it. So it works. But if I had anything to, like, add as a problem is I do think that at times they overdo the puzzles in some places, but it's not an inherent problem. It's not objective, it just annoyed me, and it's probably because it annoyed me that I felt the way I did. But it's still really, like, good open world. I want to go over here because this statue. Oh, let's remove. I love that you can use multiple pins, by the way, too. I love the use of your Phoenix there, or Phosphor. This is dope. It's just an all-around smooth, solid game experience. I love flying around too. Of course, just like you can refill your stamina, the upgrades feel substantial and helpful, like to your health and your stamina. The villain's pretty dope, by the way, too. Dink talking to us right now. There's just like chests now, kind of sitting out of nowhere. What is with that? I don't know if it's supposed to be that way. It's a very rewarding game too, and every reward has a purpose. I've only had the game crash on me 3 times so far, but it was annoying each time it happened. It's definitely not that bad though. Like, after experiencing something like Watch Dogs Legion, I'm surprised. I'm like, oh god. And I want to talk about Cyberpunk sometime later in its own video, but that'll have to wait. But yeah, I didn't expect this game to stinking grab my attention the way it did. But it's such a fantastic experience. I love the mounts, by the way. I forgot to get into those. Like, you can tame different mounts, and once you tame one of each, they kind of all become your friends. You can ride them whenever you want if you approach them cautiously, as well as when they're already tamed, they just kind of let you walk up to them and ride them anyway. There's a lot of cool horses, though I wish they had more to them, kind of like what Breath of the Wild and even Red Dead did. Probably not to the extent of Red Dead, but it would be cool. Because even in Breath of the Wild, they allow you to, yeah, look at this, I can just walk up to this guy and ride him. I also wish the Pegasus could actually fly. They sadly cannot, which really sucks and is a wasted potential. Even though the Pegasus you can get in Odyssey was very, like, couldn't fly either, it at least made it so that when you jump off a really high cliff, it reduces or just gets rid of fall damage altogether. I love like the enemy variety. There's like plenty of like wildlife too, like these bears. These bears won't attack you unless you get really close, and sometimes they have goofy little animations and stuff. I love them like sitting up like that. I love how vibrant and colorful the characters are too. There's so much personality to the characters in the world. So great. This is just a fantastic game. I might as well review this game right now, because this game is just fantastic. I didn't think I'd like it this much. It must be the Breath of the Wild vibe I get from it. Oh look, it's a singing unicorn here. I've already tamed this guy though. There's still mounts I have to find too, as well as armor sets. Like, let me show you the armor and weapons. I love that you can customize and make, like, this weapon doesn't look like this right now for me. I customized it to kind of fit the Assassin's Creed look I got. But, there's so many, like, different weapons and armor sets, and then you customize one of them, you get all this. There's even more than that. Like, you can see these slots are open. That's because there's way more. Wait a minute, oh, this has a 5th one. I've never seen one of them actually have a 5th slot. That's dope. And there is a store, and there is microtransactions. I don't think they're intrusive or evasive. They do make little jabs and fun remarks at microtransactions, but it kind of makes it kind of contradictory because they're doing it anyways. You got a store anyways where you can buy stuff with real money if you want. It's a cool option, but yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering where multiplayer is. There's an online save system, but no multiplayer, and it says there's like 2-1 multiplayer. Got an Adventure Time pack here, which is pretty funny. I kind of want to get this, just because, like, I love this game so much, I'm willing to get something from them. But yeah, I love this looking set. This looks dope. Final boss battle was worth it. It was annoying, and you'll see my stress when that video is uploaded, but at the same time, like, I was glad to have fought it. It made the ending worth it. I thought that there were certain character moments that actually came back and returned from the beginning of the game that came back in the ending, which was really cool. And I liked that. It really, like, tied things together. Certain little things. It makes sure to get every little plot element that you may have missed or not. Yeah, this game is really, like, I didn't expect to like this game as much as I did. I wouldn't say this game's super innovative. It definitely doesn't really do anything innovative. I even think Ghost of Tsushima, like, with the way it uses its animation in combat is somewhat interesting, because its combat feels so grounded and real, and the animations are so smooth that you almost think it's a real combat. It's like a real world that you're living in. But I was able to buy into this world even with its cartoony looks and still absolutely love it. And I love this world better than Odyssey's, because Odyssey had to, like, I know, singing, is it Greece? I just get, like, for some reason I always forget it's Greece. I don't know why. But, like, I know there's a lot of water in that general area. I just was, like, this is the first time a Assassin's Creed game with a lot of water, a body of water, actually made the world more irritating and annoying to traverse than anything else. It's still a good game. It's just a 7 out of 10 game, Odyssey, and I was annoyed by its open world. I like this game because I want to get back to the Starling thing I was going to talk about. I love the puzzles, by the way, too. Even though some of the puzzles annoy me, like some of the arrow puzzles, like this is an arrow puzzle right here you're seeing. And I love that you can use controlled direction arrow, sometimes at least. And that's really cool. The puzzles are fantastic in this game. Just an altogether really fun game. Why are these people's statues? I thought they were supposed to be changed back. Wow. That sucks. But, I had a lot of I had a lot of fun with this game, just in general. I love these beautiful looking locations I'm running into. Where is that sticking statue I want to climb? Wait, is that it over there? No, that can't be, because that's... No, that can't be it. It's gotta be somewhere else. Where is it? Oh, is that it? I think I see it. Alright, yeah, just... I love how this world is put together a lot better. And the use of, like, traversal in it and such is a lot more fun. The enemies are much tougher for me now to match up with my current status. But other than that, I can't wait to explore more, find more armor sets and such. I wish there was more endgame stuff that I earned. I don't feel like there was any endgame stuff. The only thing I earned was enough Ubisoft Club points to get this outfit, and even then, like, a new collectible I discovered, maybe that leads to what I have to find. Which is annoying that I have to get another collectible thing, but it does kind of remind me of Shadow of the Colossus, where you did the similar thing. Yeah, just like, I love, but what I was saying with Starlink is, you know how on the cover of Starlink, I keep trying to get back to this, you can also gather a lot of fruits and supplies in this game to kind of help you craft potions and such. But you know how on the cover, sometimes for that game, it'll show you this big fiery dragon or monster on the cover? But I never fought that thing in the whole game. I beat the whole game and the bosses were either the same darn thing over and over again, or it was just really pathetic. But, but once I saw, like, the cover of this game, and I was like, oh, we're not gonna get as cool monsters. There's a lot of really great monsters in this game that feel like they live up to the potential. Like, I get to fight Cyclopses, Medusa, for crying out loud, which was a great experience. I recorded it for my channel. It'll go up sometime, I don't know when, because there's a bunch of videos I have to rummage through that I was creating for the channel. So we'll see when it comes out, you'll know, because it'll have Medusa in the title, of course. Hopefully. Of course, I'll be editing it through, so I'll see Medusa as I'm going through editing and cutting it down, so it's much shorter. I always discover this thinking, like, sometimes I'll, like, cut down a video and I shouldn't do this, but, like, I'll just post it, and I had that one time where, like, apparently the game, or the microphone picked up me breathing really hard or something. I have breathing problems in general, if I'm being honest, so it has nothing to do with the current situation everybody's in, but yeah, I've had breathing problems, like, way in my teens even. So if you do hear stuff like that, it's just, like, I have those problems in general. As well as, like, for some reason the microphone will pick up. It's even picked up on breath that's not meant to be, not really all that loud. I got one of those annoying shield guys. But yeah, it's just, like, really, like, I don't like this kind of zoomed in camera, but I don't mind it this time. It really helps me to see my entire surrounding and all the enemies, and it makes the combat more fun. Oh, you gotta climb this statue. Oh, I wonder if there's another one of those crystals.
Wise Athena, as tremendous as in all the stories. Hope you don't mind that I'm scaling your mighty ages.
Her shield-like ages, celebrated.
Yeah, the dialogue is really cool. I love the narration. The actors all do a great part.
You know. So it's also a symbol of Athena's love
I
for
love
Papa
all the.
Zeus.
There's,
you say so.
like, these great vaults. I do love the puzzles, even though they annoyed me near the end. I do really enjoy them. And everything serves a purpose. The collectibles are actually fun, interesting, and rewarding. Where, while they're still rewarding in some Ubisoft games, they also found them annoying or repetitive in other Ubisoft games.
She should have inspired them to create an elevator.
Yeah, I laughed quite a few times. I love the cutscenes and the direction the game takes.
It's a pleasure.
Fenyx knew the owl
I just don't have very many bad things to talk about it. I don't think it's a Game of the Year winner, because it's basically Breath of the Wild. It's just riding off of the popularity of Breath of the Wild, even though that was a long time ago anyway. But it's still a fantastic game nonetheless. And I highly recommend Breath of the Wild. It's such a great game for various reasons. But yeah, this game is, it's like, it's got a lot to it to unpack.
This land was bathed in
And
Athena's wisdom, filled with
I love how much
temples
variety
dedicated
to
her
the character
skill
creation.
and
You see, I
judgment.
was able to make Geralt. So there's enough
Sites
variety
of
there,
ancient
which is cool.
mystery
Yeah, look at this open world. You see that place over there where it's all foggy and stuff, and it's got the twisted looking trees on the mountain, island there, sorry. That's where Medusa is. That's where I ran into Medusa. There's the Hydra as well. But this I'm Jeff
Fenyx
Goldbluming
beheld
it
a
a bit.
magnificent
The
structure, the archives. A place to study the heroics and strategies of
Something's
past glories.
flashing over there.
Ah,
What is
that will
that?
be where Athena is
Oh,
then.
are those the
She's got my
birds?
tactical
Do they
mind.
flash to let me know where they
But
are?
you love all your children equally, of course.
Ha! Good one.
Okay. Yeah, there's the island with Medusa. It's right over here. So I'm gonna try and like get to each of these places and see if I can fill up the map again. I want to go exploring in here again because I was having some trouble before. So we'll see about that. Oh, I see the statues right there. Yeah, this is just got such a great game. I love your Phoenix. There's great animations too when you're standing idle animations and stuff. And you know how like most YouTubers like Scott the Blogs and stuff talk about like how games used to have great like art covers to them or great loading screens. They would talk about that, or it'd just be a dude with a gun on the front cover and stuff, and it's really boring, like what happened to that stuff. This game feels like it lives up to all that. I love the loading screens. They're artistic, or they actually have something going on in them, where you actually can collect things that are
The temple
useful.
of Athena is where mortals came to return the favor.
Finally, you say
And then
something that
there's
makes
stuff like
sense. Mortals aren't good
the
for
main
much, but I
menu's
too
got
like
stuff
the
going on
presents.
it, and actually is got effort put into it. It's so funny that like the one game that I didn't care about, because I remember when I saw this game I was like, I don't really feel interested in taking a look at this game. It looks meh to me. But once I finally got a hold of it and started playing it, I also got a hold of Crash Bandicoot 4 and started playing that. I was really happy to see that it's much better expectations than I thought. I love that you can summon it into your mount whenever, which is dope. God, I really wish they could make it so the Pegasuses can fly. Pegasi, I don't know what you want to call several Pegasus. But, the sound design, of course, is fantastic for the game. I forgot to talk about the sound design. It's certainly, just like the audio, it's certainly... I got killed by a stinking Cerberus. Love that you have the revive ability. It's kind of like the special big awesome abilities that you get in Breath of the Wild when you do certain tasks, and you get the kind of blessing similar to this from stuff like the... Okay, these ones are already tamed, good. Look at this landscape, by the way, and like even when the sunset, when it's sunset or sunrise, it gets more colorful. Like it's a big, beautiful painting. Like there will be a lot of pinks and reds and oranges and stuff. It's just so beautiful every time of the stinking day and night. I love this game. But man, I love it. I love every aspect of it so far, and I didn't expect this game to come in at the last moment and be like, hey, you missed out on me. And I happen to be your favorite thing. The thing you're looking for. I'm like, damn. But I love how it's stylized. I love its style and everything. It's like Breath of the Wild. It's its own style though. Its own look. Just so much to this game to unpack in general. But this is my #1 game. I hope I didn't spend too much time talking about it and blathering away. I might as well review it though at the same time though, because make it a 2-for-1. So I technically reviewed tons of aspects of it. So I might as well give it my rating score. So I have an audience recommendation rating, I have a personal rating, and I have a realistic rating. I think the realistic rating, I can see realistically this being a 8.5. Yeah, I see it like an 8.5. Mid-8. But as a audience recommendation, I'm going to recommend it just slightly under 9 at a 8.9. So a high 8. Because I know how Angry Joe hates those kind of like dash numbers or whatever. Even though the reason you do that is because is something similar to like when I rate it. It's like you wanna separate each of the ratings so you know the difference between them, as well as like so that there's less likely that two games are the exact same rating at the same time or whatever. So like you can tell like one's slightly better because of this or that than another. It kind of helps differentiate them. But other than that, like, I think my personal rating is going to be just a solid 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this experience. I was annoyed with things by the end of it, just because I felt like it dragged on and tried to pad out the time with the puzzles stuff. But it might also just because I was getting kind of impatient and angry with the game at that point, so it could just be my own fault. But yeah, I feel like if they lessened some of the puzzles, maybe it would have been a little better, because there's already like tons of puzzles enough. But then again, I shouldn't be complaining, because it's like they're creative, good puzzles, and I mean Breath of the Wild had them, but I never found myself hating Breath of the Wild's puzzles or saying, oh, there's too many of them. I actually enjoyed my time with Breath of the Wild's puzzles. I'm not saying that all the puzzles were good though, or they weren't annoying in one way or another, frustrated me, but they less so frustrated me in Breath of the Wild. Like, this one did make me start to notice, like, okay, maybe this is a little too many puzzles now, Ubisoft. But I'm so glad, it's so funny that, like, Ubisoft is the company that has a game that I really like this year when I hated another game of theirs. You have to give me time with the games, too, because, like, if I don't get enough time, and now that I beat this, I think I can say all I want about it.
Could his creations be perfected.
Because
you know,
I'm
that's
talking over me,
all.
bunch of jerks.
All the plays get
But
because you know all of him in the looks department, because he's
Are you finished?
yes. Yep.
That was weird. Yeah, just such a good game. Such a brilliant game that came out this year. I'm so happy it came out. It made me, like, this was such a cruddy year in general. The game will definitely cheer you up. It will make you happy. It'll make you laugh. So I definitely recommend it, and I think those are really good reasons to recommend it, especially this year. You can do with a game like this if you're feeling down.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, shut the hell up. I like what you're saying, but goddammit, shut up. Is there anything on top of his hammer? Let me check. No, it doesn't look like it. I love that you can cut the grass and stuff. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of like little details, but not as many as like Breath of the Wild. It's got its own details it does well. Probably even better than Breath of the Wild, such as the hotbar I was talking about. A lot of games have that though in general, so it makes it a lot quicker and easier. But at the same time, I think there's a lot of things Breath of the Wild does that it still does better than a lot of games now, which is just hilarious. So let's scout out this area real quick. and I hope you enjoyed. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below, and when you do subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Keep up to date with the latest content and or videos, and we'll talk about some of the worst games this year, or most disappointing, in its own video. They will be put in the same video together, so we'll talk about that then. I'll probably record Fortnite in the background, because I really don't feel like playing a bad game, if I'm being honest, as well as they would be uninstalled, because I'm trying to make room on this console for games like this, as well as good games that I want to put my time into.
Someone down there was alive, working, and seemingly happy.
Definitely not Hephaestus, then. That whining, sniveling coward never smiled a day in his life.
Have you?
Something glowing down there.
Have you listened to a word of this story?
I'll have to get that. But
Things have
I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. And bye-bye. Let's clear up this map first. I love this map, by the way. One of my favorite open world maps in a while. So, see you next time.